Sa India ang tatawid sana ng kalsada nang biglang nagulungan ng bus.
Silipin po natin ang sitwasyon ng babae mula sa mga detalye ng balitang ibabahagi maya-maya. Magandang gabi. Ako po si Ricky Mathay.
Ako si Nina Richie Alago Flores. Ito ang mata ng Agila International. Para naman sa mga headlines ngayong araw ng Miyerkules.
Philippine Embassy sa US nanawagan sa mga undocumented Filipinos na mag-report sa kanilang tanggapan.
2025 midterm polls, ballot printing ng COMELEC muling sisimulan sa Biyernes o Sabado.
US President Donald Trump target na magpataw ng 10% na taripa sa imported goods na papasok sa Estados Unidos.
Texas, tinamaan ng pambihirang winter storm.
At ating silipin kung ano itong Project Stargate na inanunsyo ni US President Donald Trump. Hinikayat ng Philippine Embassy sa US ang mga undocumented Filipinos na nananatili sa Estados Unidos na mag-report sa kanilang tanggapan sa pagsisimula ng crackdown ng Administrasyong Trump sa mga illegal aliens.
Ayon kay Philippine Ambassador to the United States, Jose Manuel Romualdez, nasa 350,000 na mga Pilipino ang illegal na naninirahan sa Estados Unidos. Inihayag ni Romualdez na ang mga Pilipinong nasa US na ng 10 taon at naiayos na nila o nakapagtrabaho na sila roon ay may pag-asa namang makakuha ng permanent residency. Ngunit may hirapan anyang makakuha ng residency ang mga Pilipinong nag-overstay o kaya ay nagpunta sa US bilang mga turista. Nilinaw din ng diplomat na ang mga illegal na Filipino aliens na may criminal record sa US, maging ang mga Pilipinong hindi man lang sinubukan na gawing legal ang pananatili sa Estados Unidos ang nanganganib na ma-deport pabalik ng Pilipinas.
Kinumpirma ng Manila Economic and Cultural Office o MECO na walang Pilipinong naiulat na nasaktan matapos ang magnitude 6 na lindol na tumama sa Timog Taiwan. Ayon sa lokal na ulat, tumama ang lindol malapit sa rural area ng Chiayi City. Inihayag po ni MECO Chairperson Cheloy Garafil na ligtas ang lahat at patuloy nilang minomonitor ang sitwasyon. Nailikas naman ang nasa 300 Filipinos na mga manggagawa mula sa isang pabrika sa Taiwan patungo sa ligtas na lugar. Matapos naman ang lindol ay kaagad na nagsagawa ang Taipei ng relief operations sa mga apektado ng lindol.
Matapos na maudlot ng ilang beses ay posibleng muling simulan na ng COMELEC ang pag-iimprenta ng mga balota para sa May midterm polls sa araw ng Biyernes o kaya'y Sabado. Ayon kay COMELEC spokesperson John Rex Laudianco, inaasahang hindi ito lubos na makaaapekto sa paghahanda para sa paparating na eleksyon. Anya na isasaayos na rin ng COMELEC ang election management system at na-generate na rin ang mga panibagong balota. Giitin din ni Laudianco, maaaring abuti ng 2 hanggang 3 araw ang kanilang pag-imprenta.
Pirmado na po ni Budget and Management Secretary Amena Pangandaman ang Circular Number 597. Ito ay para sa second tranche ng dagdag sahod para sa mga kawani ng gobyerno. Kaalinsabay din ng circular ang pagpapatupad ng updated salary schedule para sa civilian personnel, alinsunod pa rin sa Executive Order No. 54 Series of 2024. Ayon kay Pangandaman, bahagi ito ng ipinangako ni Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. na ipatutupad ito ngayong January 2025. Umaasa si Pangandaman na ang second tranche ng aumento sa sahod ay makatutugon bilang financial relief para sa government employees. Samantala, hindi naman saklaw ang military and uniform personnel sa aumento sa sahod. Sa ilalim ng EO54, ipatutupad sa 4 na tranches ang aumento sa sahod sa lahat ng national government agencies tuwing Enero ng bawat taon, simula 2024 hanggang taong 2027.
Inanunsyo ng Pag-asa na posibleng walang pumasok na bagyo sa Philippine Area of Responsibility o PAR hanggang sa matapos ang buwang ito sa kabila ng pag-iral ng 3 weather systems sa bansa. Batay sa ulat ng Pag-asa, patuloy ang pag-iral ng mga weather system sa bansa, katulad ng shear line, easterlies at northeast monsoon o hanging amihan. Inaasahang magdadala ang mga ito ng pag-ulan na maaaring magdulot naman ng pagbaha. Sa kasalukuyan, nananatiling apektado ng shear line o salubungan ng mainit at malamig na hangin ang Bicol Region at Eastern Visayas.
Lumabas sa records ng Bureau of Immigration na ang inarestong Chinese national na suspected na spy ay labas-masok na pala sa Pilipinas simula pa noong taong 2015. Kasal din nila ang 39 na taong gulang na suspect sa isang Pilipina. Ipinasa na rin ng Bureau of Immigration sa Department of Justice and National Bureau of Investigation ang mga nasabing detalye upang makatulong sa investigasyon. Sasailalim din sa deportation proceedings ang Chinese national, subalit nilinaw ng immigration na hindi ito sisimulan hanggat hindi pa nito nare-resolba at napagsisilbihan ang lahat ng posibleng kaso at parusa.
Dapat bilisan ang pag-amyenda sa espionage law ng Pilipinas ayon sa National Security Council o NSC. Naniniwala rin ang NSC na dapat ding bigyang prioridad at higpitan ang countering of foreign interference and malign influence bill na sinasabing mga kritikal na batas na naglalayong labanan ng mga pagbabanta sa seguridad ng Pilipinas. Sinabi ni National Security Advisor Eduardo Año na sa pamamagitan ng pagpapalakas ng legal framework ng bansa ay epektibong matutugunan ng buong puwersa ng batas ang mga individual o grupo na naghahanap ng pagkakataon upang makompromiso ang pambansang seguridad natin. Ginawa ng NSC ang apelang ito sa Kongreso kasunod ng pagkakaaresto sa isang Chinese national at 2 kasabwat na Pilipino na inakusahan ng pag-espiya at pangangalap ng intelligence sa critical infrastructures ng bansa.
Nitong Martes, January 21, ay muling lumapit ang monster ship ng China at isa pang barko ng Chinese Coast Guard sa Panatag Shoal. Habang nangyayari po ito, ay dumating naman ang isa pang barko ng China sa baybayin ng Zambales. Ayon sa Philippine Coast Guard o PCG, namataan nila ang dambuhalang barko ng China sa layong 130 nautical miles mula sa Zambales. Nasa loob pa rin nila ito ng exclusive economic zone ng Pilipinas sa layong 19 nautical miles mula sa Panatag Shoal. Samantala, ang CCG 3304 ay nakita naman sa layong 105 nautical miles mula sa Zambales at lumapit sa Panatag Shoal sa layong 28 nautical miles. Pinalitan ng CCG 3103 ang CCG 3304 at sinabi ng PCG na iligal itong nagpatrolya sa baybayin ng Zambales sa layong 76 nautical miles mula naman sa bayan ng Pundakit. Pinagtugon, dideploy ng PCG ang BRP Suluan para huwag makalapit ang CCG 3103 sa Zambales. Patuloy ding nagpadala ng radio challenges ang PCG para igiit na ang iligal na presensya ng 3 Chinese ships ay paglabag sa Philippine Maritime Zones Act, sa United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea at maging sa 2016 Arbitral Award. Susunod, France naglabas ng bagong arrest warrant para kay disgraced Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad.
Donald Trump at Trump tariffs naging pangunahing paksa sa World Economic Forum.
At Trump tariffs nakatakdang maging epektibo sa pagpasok ng Pebrero. Mga detalye po na mga balita niyan at iba pa mga balita sa pagbabalik ng Mata ng Agila International.
This portion is brought to you by BioQuick, high-quality products for hospitals and labs with 19 years of dedicated service to the community. They have become your trusted partner for all things medical.
Alam namin ang iyong pagsisikap. Dama namin ang iyong mga sakripisyo. Kita namin ang pagharap mo sa bawat pagsubok. Kaya sa kabila ng mga hamon ng buhay, nandito kami para umalalay. Kasi katulad mo, gusto rin namin ang magandang bukas para sa kanya. Hatid namin ang dekalidad na edukasyon at makabagong pasilidad sa abot kayang halaga. Kaya huwag ka na mangamba. Sasamahan ka namin tuparin ang mga pangarap niya. Maaasahan mong sulit dito ang mga pinagsikapan mo. Sa aming mga makabagong pasilidad at sistema ng edukasyon. Mailalabas natin ang aking talino at mga kakayahan niya. Kahit sa munting halaga, makakasiguro ka na makakasabay siya sa mabilis na pag-ikot ng mundo. Sa new era, karamay mo kami sa bawat hamon. Kaagapay mo kami sa bawat hakbang. Kasama mo kami sa bawat ngiti at tagumpay.
Ng Taiwan Ministry of Digital Affairs na natural deterioration umano ang sanhi ng pinakabagong insidente ng pagkasira ng kanilang mga undersea cable sa Matsu Islands.
根据这个 AIS 还有 SAWS 这两种雷达去确认，并没有在断的地方发现频率的传输，那所以我们研判它是一个自然的劣化。
Ayon kay Deputy Digital Minister Chiu Herming, wala raw kahinahinalang barkong nakadestino sa katubigan ng Matsu noong makaranas ng telecommunications blackout ang naturang isla. Kaninang umaga kasi ay iniulat ng gobyerno ng Taiwan na nawala ang kanilang komunikasyon sa Matsu Islands matapos matanggal ang koneksyon ng naturang undersea cable sa kanilang main island. Inaasahang maayos ito sa kalagitnaan ng Pebrero. Bilang backup naman ay nagpasya ang kanilang gobyerno na gumamit ng microwave communication upang makagamit ng internet services ang nasa 14,000 kataong naninirahan sa naturang isla.
我们即刻启动，请中华队员即刻启动微波的紧急备援。那原来涵盖的，原来针对马祖地区涵盖的语音电路、网际网络服务不会受到影响。那在海象允许的状况下呢，我们现在收到的通报最快会在2月完成修复。
Sa unang araw ng paninilbihan ni U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, nangako po ito kasama ang kanyang mga counterparts sa Japan, India at Australia na magsisikap ang kanilang grupo para sa isang malaya at bukas na Indo-Pacific. Ayon sa ilang geopolitical analysts, ang pinagkasundo ang pahayag ng apat na lider ay isang code word para sa China na huwag itong maging agresibo sa nasabing rehiyon. Malinaw nila na hindi sang-ayon sina Rubio sa mga pambubuli ng China sa mga karatig bansa nito sa Asia, kagaya na rin ng Pilipinas at ng Taiwan.
Thank you. And that mission is to ensure that our foreign policy is centered on one thing, and that is the advancement of our national interest, which they have clearly defined through his campaign as anything that makes us stronger or safer or more prosperous. And that will be our mission. And we need to ensure that we have an environment here that's conducive to creativity, to boldness, to new ideas, to recognizing the dynamic world in which we live, one that is changing faster than it has ever changed before. And we need to be ahead of it. When the time comes for the principals to gather, or even deputies, I want the Department of State to have the best ideas and the best options available for the President. And then I want us to be able to execute them better than any agency in our government. That will also be a task of mine.
Dumagdag pa ang bilang ng mga world leaders na nagpadala ng mensahe ukol sa pag-upo ni Trump sa pwesto. Kahit ang matagal na karibal ni Donald Trump na si Vladimir Putin ng Russia ay nagpadala ng mensahe ng suporta para sa panibagong presidente ng Estados Unidos. Nagpakita rin ito ng kagustuhan na maibalik ang direct communication nito sa White House kung saan dinawit niya ang nakaraang administrasyon sa pagkakaroon ng distansya sa gitna ng dalawang bansa. Dagdag pa nito na nakikiisa sila sa kagustuhan ni Donald Trump na mapigilan ang World War III.
Предвыборный период был для господина Трампа во всех отношениях нелегким. На него и даже на членов его семьи постоянно оказывалось жесточайшее давление. Дело дошло до попыток покушения на его жизнь. Но он проявил мужество, одержал убедительную победу на выборах. И мы видим заявление вновь избранного президента США и членов его команды о желании восстановить прямые контакты с Россией, прерванные не по нашей вине уходящей администрации. Слышим также его заявление о необходимости сделать все, чтобы не допустить Третьей мировой войны. Безусловно, мы приветствуем такой настрой и поздравляем избранного президента Соединенных Штатов Америки со вступлением в должность.
Ang kaalyado naman ni Putin sa Hungary na si Viktor Orban ay hindi nag-atubiling purihin ang presidente kung saan tinawag niya itong isang patriotic president. Pagkatapos naman ito ay sinabi niyang matutulungan ni Trump ang puwersa ng far-right patriots sa Europa kung saan inanunsyo ni Orban ang kanyang panibagong opensiba laban sa European Union, kung saan ninanais niyang gayahin ang naging makasaysayang kampanya ni Trump sa ilalim ng slogan na Make America Great Again. Binansagan naman niya ang kanyang sariling kampanya bilang mega o Make Europe Great Again.
Csillagzat, amely alatt most állunk, sokkal kedvezőbb, mint 2024-ben volt. Nem csak mi erősödtünk meg, időközben a nyugati liberális politika vezérhajója is elsüllyedt. A nyugati világ egy patrióta, békepárti, migrációt elutasító, családpárti elnököt kapott Washingtonban. Már csak néhány óra, és még a nap is másként fog sütni Brüsszel felett. Új elnök Amerikában, nagy patrióta frakció Brüsszelben, nagy lelkesedés, kipróbált és hazájukat szerető hazafiak. Indulhat tehát a nagy támadás. A Brüsszel elfoglalását célzó hadművelet második fázisát ezennel megindítom. Köszönöm, hogy meghallgattak. Hajrá Magyarország, hajrá magyarok!
Maging ang China ay nagpakita rin ng suporta para sa termino ni Trump kung saan sinabi nilang bukas daw sila na makipagtulungan sa US government upang masiguro ang tagumpay ng dalawang bansa. Sinabi naman ng China na bukas ito na gumawa ng paraan upang mapadali ang ugnayan sa gitna ng dalawang bansa.
中美合则两利，斗则俱伤，这是中美关系发展的历史告诉我们的。我们始终认为，稳定、健康、可持续发展的中美关系符合两国的共同利益和国际社会的期待。中方愿意同美国的新政府秉持相互尊重、和平共处、合作共赢的原则，加强对话沟通，妥善管控分歧，拓展互利合作，走出一条新时期中美的正确相处之道，造福两国，惠及世界。
Naglabas ng bagong arrest warrant ang gobyerno ng France laban kay dating Syrian President Bashar al-Assad dahil sa mga aligasyon ng mga krimen laban sa sangkatauhan. Ang warrant ay kaugnay na matagal ng sigalot sa Syria na nagdulot ng malawakang karahasan at humanitarian crisis. Ayon po sa ulat, layunin ng France na ipanagot si Assad sa mga insidente ng torture, forced disappearances at maging paggamit ng kemikal na armas laban sa mga sibilyan. Ang hakbang na ito ay bahagi ng international na pagsisikap na mabigyan ng hustisya ang mga biktima ng digmaan sa Syria. Patuloy na nananawagan ng mga human rights groups na magsagawa ng mas malawakang aksyon upang mapanagot ang mga may sala at matigil ang mga paglabag sa karapatang pantao sa rehiyon. Ito na po ang pangalawang warrant of arrest na inisyu ng hukom ng France para sa dating pinuno ng Syria na pinatalsik noong unang bahagi ng December 2024 ng mga puwersang Islamist na Hayat Tahrir al-Asham o HTS. Inilabas noong November 2023 ang unang warrant laban kay Bashar al-Assad dahil sa mga paratang naman ng pakikipagsabwatan sa mga krimen laban sa sangkatauhan at pakikipagsabwatan umano sa mga krimen sa digmaan. Kasunod ito ng pagsisiyasat ng France sa mga chemical attacks sa Douma at sa distrito ng Eastern Ghouta noong August 2013 na nakapatay sa mahigit 1,000 katao.
Sa kabila ng panunumpa ni Donald Trump bilang 47th President of the United States ay nagpapatuloy pa rin ang World Economic Forum sa Davos, Switzerland. Ayon naman sa mga opisyal na nag-organisa ng umanong pagpupulong ay dadalo si Donald Trump virtually upang makahabol sa mga pinakaimportanteng talakayin sa umanong pagpupulong ng mga iba't ibang bansa. Ang naturang forum ay naglalayong magtalakay ng mga importanteng world issues kagaya ng climate change, war, global tensions at economic status ng mga bansa. Nasa 130 mga bansa ang inaasahang magpapadala ng delegasyon kasama na rin ang nasa 900 mga business leaders at 3,000 kataong nakatakdang makilahok sa naturang okasyon. Wala pang balita kung may delegasyong ipadadala ang Estados Unidos, ngunit umaasa naman ang iba na dadalo ang Department of Government Efficiency Secretary na si Elon Musk sa naturang okasyon upang sagutin ang mga komento ni Olaf Scholz ukol sa free speech.
So, on the question of the dealing of Elon Musk, I had a lot of things to comment in the past because he was discussing a lot about Europe. And just to repeat what I already said, we have the freedom of speech in Europe and in Germany. Everyone can say what he wants, even if he is a billionaire. And what we do not accept is if this is supporting extreme right positions. And that is what I would like to repeat again.
Nangako naman ng China na susuportahan itong global trade market at inihambing niya ang free trade policy ng China laban sa banta ng Estados Unidos na tataasan nila ang taripa sa ibang bansa. Niliwanagan din ito ang posisyon ng China ukol sa isang trade war kung saan sinasabi nitong walang kailangang matalo sa naturang labanan, sa halip ay dapat tinitingnan ng lahat kung paano tayo makikipagtulungan sa isa't isa.
从对外贸易看，我们不追求贸易顺差，愿意进口更多国外有竞争力的优质产品和服务，促进贸易平衡发展。中国的关税总水平已经降到7.3%，处于全球比较低的水平。我们给予所有同中国建交的最不发达国家100%税目产品零关税待遇。经济全球化不是你输我赢的零和博弈，而是互利共赢的普惠进程。当然，经济全球化也会带来一些利益分配上的矛盾分歧，这些问题只能在推进全球化的进程中加以解决。搞保护主义没有出路，打贸易战没有赢家。我们要充分利用一切机遇，引领好经济全球化的走向，以普惠纾发展之困，以包容聚合作之力，推动经济全球化进入更具有活力、更加包容、更可持续的新阶段。
Tila nagbago naman ang tono ni European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen ukol sa China, kung saan sinasabi nitong napapanahon na para sa ibang bansa na buksan ang kanilang merkado sa oportunidad na dinadala ng China sa harap ng isang global race. Tinitignan naman ito ng mga eksperto bilang posibleng pagdistansya ng European Union sa Estados Unidos sa harap ng bagong round ng Trump tariffs. Ilang beses na rin tinitignan ng Europa na simulan ng kanilang decoupling sa iisang major trade partner dahil sa ganitong posibilidad na nagkatotoo naman sa pag-upo ni Donald Trump.
In this spirit, we will need to work together to avoid a global race to the bottom, because it is in no one's interest to break the bonds of the global economy. Rather, we need to modernize the rules to sustain our ability to produce mutual gain for our citizens. It is time to pursue a more balanced relationship with China in a spirit of fairness and reciprocity. This new engagement with countries across the world is not only an economic necessity, but it's a message to the world. It is Europe's response to rising global competition. We want more cooperation with all who are open for it.
Pinalaya na po ang dating leader ng grupong far-right Oath Keepers na si Stuart Rhodes. Napatunayang may sala si Rhodes sa pagpaplanong lusubin ang US Capitol Building noong Enero 6, 2021. Alamin naman natin ang pakiramdam ni Rhodes ngayong binigyan siya ng pardon ni US President Donald Trump. Michelle Verzonilla po para sa detalye ng balita.
Ilang oras matapos i-release si Stuart Rhodes mula sa kulungan, humarap ito sa mga mamamahayag sa labas ng Washington, D.C. jail. Si Rhodes ay ang dating pinuno ng Oath Keepers, isang grupong far-right na kasama sa mga sumugod sa US Capitol noong January 6, 2021 upang bawiin ang pagkapangulo mula kay Joe Biden. Ito ay sa paniniwalang si Donald Trump ang talagang nanalo noon. Ibinahagi ni Rhodes ang kanyang nararamdaman ngayong nakalaya na siya makalipas ang 3 taong pagkakakulong.
Do you feel emboldened and perhaps legitimized and validated by the Trump? Well, I don't feel emboldened. I feel vindicated and validated. Yes, absolutely. Of course, I haven't gotten a pardon yet. I got commutation. But I'm applying for one. I'm pretty positive I'll get one. When they review my case, they'll understand that I was targeted for who I am, not for anything I did. It's because I'm the founder of Oath Keepers.
Hindi man kasama sa mga lumusob sa Capitol si Rhodes, napatunayan itong may sala sa pagpaplanong gumamit ng puwersa upang pigilan ng Kongreso na pagtibayin ng pagkapanalo ni Biden sa eleksyon. 18 taong pagkabilanggo ang sentensya dapat kay Rhodes. Sa kabila ng lahat, walaan niya siyang pinanghihinayangan. At naniniwala pa rin itong dinaya si Trump noong 2020 elections. Ipinag-utos ni Trump ang clemency o pagpapatawad sa lahat ng nakasuhan kaugnay ng paglusob sa Capitol kung saan may 140 pulis ang nasaktan. Ikinatakot ng maraming mambabatas na nasa loob din ng gusali ang pagsalakay ng iyon. Ayon sa Federal Bureau of Prisons, 211 ang pinalaya matapos ang pag-uutos ni Trump. Umani ng pagtuligsa ang pagpapardon na ito ni Trump mula sa kapulisan na nakipagtunggali sa mob noon. Kabilang dito ang pag-alma ng mga pamilya ng kapulisan at mga mambabatas, pati na ang ilang Republicans na rin. Batay sa isang poll, majority ng mga Amerikano ang hindi sang-ayon sa desisyong ito ng bagong Pangulo sa unang araw pa lamang ng kanyang termino. Michelle Verzonilla para sa mata ng Agila International, trusted, connected on point.
Sinabi naman ni US President Donald Trump na nag-iwan si dating Pangulong Joe Biden ng isang liham para sa kanya sa loob po mismo ng Resolute Desk sa White House. Pinayuhan niya siya ni Biden na i-enjoy ang kanyang termino bilang Pangulo ng Estados Unidos at binigyan din ito ang kahalagahan ng kanyang trabaho bilang leader. Isang tradisyon sa Estados Unidos na nag-iiwan ng sulat ang outgoing president para sa incoming president.
Yeah, he wrote me a nice letter. I mean, I did open it last night. And I didn't know. Peter said, "Did you get the letter?" I said, "Wait a minute, let's see the letter. It's sort of a tradition. You put it in the drawer, especially of the beautiful Resolute desk, right?" And I opened the drawer, and there it was. It said to number 47. And it was a very nice letter. I mean, I could show it because I think it was a nice letter. Maybe I will. I think it,
what did you say in terms of
just basically, it was a little bit of an inspirational type letter, you know. Enjoy it, do a good job. Important, very important how important the job is. But I may it was a nice letter. I think I should let people see it because it was a positive for him in writing it. I appreciated the letter. Thank you.
Sinampahan ng U.S. government watchdog Public Citizen ang paglabag sa transparency law ang Department of Government Efficiency o DOGE ni President Donald Trump. Ayon sa grupo, wala umanong balansing pananaw ang mga miyembro ng DOGE. Sikreto rin nila ang mga pagpupulong ng ahensya at hindi rin available sa publiko ang trabaho nito. Bago nila sila magsampa ng reklamo, ay nakipag-ugnayan sila sa transition team ni Trump pero tinanggihan nila ang pakiusap nilang makipagpulong ukol sa nasabing issue. Ikinokonsidera ni U.S. President Donald Trump na magpataw ng karagdagang 10% taripa sa imported goods mula sa China, Mexico at iba pang parte ng Europa simula sa Pebrero.
We're thinking about that too. We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada.
How soon on those tariffs?
Probably February 1st is the date we're looking at. For Mexico and China, we're talking about approximately 25%.
Didepensa ni Trump ang naturang hakbang sa pamamagitan ng pag-akusa sa China at Mexico na nagpapadala umano ng fentanyl sa Amerika sa pamamagitan ng Mexico at Canada. Ang fentanyl ay isang opioid na nagpapalala sa krisis sa iligal na droga sa buong mundo. Sinundan pa ito ng pagbabanta ni Trump na magpapataw ng import tax na 25% sa Mexico at Canada at inakusahan ng mga ito ng pagpayag sa mga hindi dokumentadong migrants at mga droga na pumapasok sa Amerika. Matatandaan na isa sa pangunahing pangako ni Trump sa kanyang kampanya ang pagpapalawak ng taripa na anyay makatutulong umano sa ekonomiya ng Estados Unidos. Bagamat ayon sa mga eksperto, maaaring humantong ito sa mas mataas na presyo ng goods para sa mga Amerikano mismo at pasakit para sa mga kumpanyang apektado ng foreign retaliation ng Administrasyong Trump.
Other countries are big abusers also. You know, it's not just China. China's an abuser, but the European Union is very, very bad to us. They treat us very, very badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our cars at all. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They don't take very much. We have a $350 billion deficit with the European Union. They treat us very, very badly. So they're going to be in for tariffs. It's the only way you're going to get back. It's the only way you're going to get fairness. You can't get fairness unless you do that.
Nagpahayag ng pagkabahala ang mga migrante na nag-aabang sa border city ng Piedras Negras sa Mexico. Lalong lumabo nila ang kanilang tsansang makapasok ng Estados Unidos ngayong nanumpa na si Donald Trump bilang Pangulo. Jeff Sanidad po para sa detalye ng balita.
Matapos magtaas ng kamay ni Donald Trump bilang Pangulo ng Estados Unidos ngayong 20 ng Enero 2025, isa si Honduran migrant Denia Alvarado sa mga nakatanggap ng email ukol sa pagkakansela ng U.S. Customs and Border Protection o CBP appointment. Siya at ang kanyang 2 anak ay nag-aantay sa Mexico para sa appointment date na ito ng higit 1 taon.
Creo que habemos muchas personas que esperamos por mucho tiempo y creo que está mal que haya, como por ejemplo, cancelado las citas que ya estaban programadas. Y yo sí entiendo que pues hayan cancelado la aplicación, ¿va? Pero pienso de que las citas no deberían haber sido, porque hay muchas personas que realmente sí lo necesitamos y que pues viajamos por motivos bastante difíciles. Que casi todos creo que pasamos por muchas cosas así cuando venimos de nuestro país.
Nilisan ni Alvarado ang Honduras matapos anya siyang makatanggap ng ilang pagbabanta sa kanyang buhay. Anya, pag-asa niya ang asylum sa US para mabigyan ng mabuting kinabukasan ang kanyang mga anak.
Tengo 2 hermanos allá y pues quería estar allá, una por las cuestiones que pasamos, las inseguridades de nuestro país y pues creo que es el único país que nos brinda como que más, ¿cómo se puede decir? Más seguridad, ¿cierto? Y pues también estar con la familia y darle un futuro mejor a mis hijos, que estudien, por ejemplo, porque en mi país es bien difícil el estudio y pues más lo hago por mis hijos, que estén un futuro mejor.
Kawangis ng mensahe ang nakita ng mga migrante sa kanilang CBP One app na kinakansela ang kanilang appointment. Tinanggap nila ang notification ilang sandali lamang matapos ang inaugurasyon ni Trump. Mula noong 7 ng Enero, may 280,000 users ang naglalog on sa app kada araw upang kumuha sana ng appointment. Ayon kay Venezuelan migrant Carolina Palmares, isa siya sa mga nag-aabang. Martes sana ang kanyang appointment.
Todo ha sido complicado, iniciando desde la selva hasta ahora que estoy aquí esperando para poder pasar. Pero ahorita ando con un poco de nervios con lo que acabamos de ver, que cancelaron la cuestión de lo de la cita, porque ahora Donald Trump va a recibir lo de la presidencia. La verdad son tantas cosas, son tantas cosas que se nos cruzan que la verdad no sabemos cuál es la realidad de las cosas.
Sa kasalukuyan, sa bakod ng Mexico, may 100 sundalo ang nagpapatrol. Samantala, sa bakod ng US, may Border Patrol agents ang nakaistasyon kada 50 metro. Noong Lunes, isa sa mga ipinahayag ng bagong mga opisyales ng White House ang nakahandang pagdedeklara ni Trump ng national emergency sa katimugang border ng bansa. Ito ay bilang pagtupad ng isa sa kanyang mga ipinangako sa pangangampanya, ang matinding paghihigpit sa imigrasyon. Jeff Sanidad para sa Mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.
Lumagda si US President Donald Trump ng isang executive order upang tuluyang mag-withdraw ang Estados Unidos sa World Health Organization o WHO. Ibig sabihin nito ay pinanlang aalis ang US sa WHO pagkatapos ng isang taon. Mahihinto na rin ang pagbibigay ng US ng pondo para sa WHO. Para kay Trump ay hindi naman naging kapaki-pakinabang sa maraming residente ng Estados Unidos ang sinasabing benepisyo ng World Health Organization.
So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350 to pay. Nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally. But let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million. We were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me.
Nanghihinayang naman ang WHO sa desisyon ng Estados Unidos na umalis sa organisasyon at sinabing umaasa silang muling pag-iisipan ni Trump ang desisyong ito. Susunod, mga suspect sa Turkish ski resort fire na aresto na.
Netflix nagtamo ng record viewership sa pagpasok ng taon.
At Indonesia, kinasuhan ang Google para sa unfair practices. Yan at iba pang mga balita sa pagbabalik ng Mata ng Agila International.
maiinit na balita
at rumaratsyad ang usapan ng bayan.
ihahatid namin sa 100%!
100% ang pagbabalita.
100% talakayan.
Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Alas 5 hanggang alas 7 ng umaga.
Live na live sa Radyo Agila 1062 Mega Manila.
At sa NET25 100%!
Sa NET25, let's get together. Sa NET25.
Lunos po ang sinapit ng isang babae sa India matapos itong magulungan ng isang bus. Mula sa nakalap na CCTV, ayan po, makikitang tatawid sana ang babae sa kabilang kalsada. Mapapansin din po na pinipilit itong maunahan ng bus na lumitaw na lamang sa kanyang likuran. Subalit sa hindi inaasahang pagkakataon ay nahagip ng gulong ang balabal ng babae na siyang naging dahilan ng kanyang pagkakadapa sa daan. Dito na nagulungan ang babae at namatay. Tumigil naman ang bus nang sumisenyas na sa driver na ihinto na muna ang sasakyan. Iniimbestigahan na ng Madhapur Police ang nasabing insidente.
Isang gabing hindi malilimutan para sa 5 individual nang madaganan sila ng nagwawalang elepante sa Thailand. Ayon sa lokal na ulat, bibisita lamang ang mga biktima para sa isang fireworks display nang may nakasalubong silang nagwawalang hayop. Batay sa salaysay ng mga nakasaksi, nagwala ang hayop dahil sa ingay ng pagsabog ng mga paputok sa lugar. Mula sa video ay makikita ang tumatakbong hayop habang nagpupulasan ng mga tao para makaiwas sa elepante. Matapos ang insidente, inaresto ang mahot o caretaker ng elepante dahil sa pagdala nito ng nasabing hayop sa fireworks display. Inamin umano ng mahot na hindi siya humingi ng permiso na dalhin ang kanyang alagang hayop sa fireworks display sa isang livestock office. Nahaharap ang mahot sa parusa ng 1 taong o 1 taong pagkakakulong at multang aabot sa 20,000 baht.
Umabot na po sa 76 na katao ang nasawi sa naging sunog sa Grand Kartal Hotel sa Turkey. Ipinabot ni Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya ang kanyang pakikiramay sa mga pamilya ng mga biktimang nasawi. Kinumpirma naman ni Yerlikaya na tapos na ang search efforts sa nasunog na hotel. Kasalukuyan nang nagsasagawa ng DNA test sa mga labi ng na-recover ng mga otoridad. Patuloy pa rin ang investigasyon ng pulisya sa nasabing insidente at sa kabila nito ay may 9 na individual na silang naaresto. Iginiit ni Yerlikaya na mananagot ang mga taong responsable sa trahedya.
Huwag pong gagayahin basta-basta ang inyong mapapanood sa inyong mga screens dahil mga dalubhasa lamang ang makagagawa po nito. Gumawa kasi ng human pyramid on moving motorcycles ang Indian Army sa kahabaan ng kalsada ng New Delhi. Ayon sa lokal na ulat, habang ginagawa ng motorcycle rider display team ng Indian Army ang stunt, ay nakasakay ang 7 sundalo sa motorsiklo para maging haligi ng 40 human pyramid. Binaybay naman ng Indian Army ang 1.2 miles na Kartavya Path Ceremonial Boulevard para makumpleto ang kanilang new world record.
Samantala, isang hindi karaniwang winter storm po ang tumama sa US Gulf Coast nitong Martes. Bitbit nito ang snow at bugso ng hangin sa isang rehiyon na hindi naman sanay sa niebe. Ayon pa sa US meteorologist, nakararanas ng mapanganib na deep freeze ang karamihan ngayon sa Estados Unidos. Nako, kamusay naman po natin si NET25 correspondent Bernhard Gonzaga na talaga namang nangangatog na sa ginaw ngayon sa Houston, Texas.
Noong Martes ng umaga, milyong-milyong residente ng Texas ang nagising sa isang napakakapal na snow. Kasabay nito ang pagdapo ng bagyong Enzo sa mga baybayin ng Texas, Louisiana at Florida. Dito sa Metro Houston, sinabi ng National Weather Service na ang kabuang snowfall ay aabot hanggang 4 na pulgada sa isang lugar. Ang isa sa mga pinakabihirang nakita ay ang snow sa beach na nakuna ng mga webcam sa Galveston. Ayon kay Houston Mayor John Whitmire, sa gitna ng paghahanda ng lungsod, kailangan gawin din ng mga residente ng kanilang bahagi.
We've been preparing since Thursday for the intense temperature, but now we've learned that there will be precipitation. We are prepared, but the reason I'm speaking to Houstonians this evening is we need your assistance. We need your help to let us help you. We need to limit our activity starting tomorrow evening.
Dahil sa Arctic blast na ito, napatigil ang buong Gulf Coast na nagdulot ng pagsasara ng pampublikong pasilidad sa Port Houston at ng mga paliparan sa George Bush International at Hobby.
Ako po si Bernhard Gonzaga para sa Matalang Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.
At dahil din sa sobrang lamig ng panahon naman sa US Capitol, hindi nasaksihan live ng publiko ang inaugurasyon ni Donald Trump. Subalit marami pa ring mga taga-suporta ng bagong US President ang hindi ininda ang malamig na temperatura at masayang nagdiwang sa Washington. Alamin natin ang mga detalye mula kay Mefanway Zaragoza.
Ilan sa mga taga-suporta ng bagong panumpang presidente ay humilera sa mga kalye na dinaanan ni Pangulong Donald Trump bago at pagkatapos ng inaugurasyon. Marami sa kanila ang natipon sa National Mall sa kabila ng matinding lamig ng panahon. Nabago ang ilang bagay na dati-ratay isinasagawa tuwing inaugurasyon. Sa kabila nito, hindi pinalampas ng Trump supporters ang pagkakataong ipagdiwang ang panunumpa nito bilang ika-47 Pangulo ng Estados Unidos. Para kay Whitney Brown mula sa Alabama, ikinagagalak niya ang mga tuntuning ipapatupad ni Trump.
You know, we're excited about Trump, but we're also just excited about the new policies that he's bringing in, and we think it's just important to instill the values that he stands for, you know, and to just let our kids see it, you know, in person. And it's cold, but it's, you know, something that I think they'll look back on and see that they were able to be here, you know, and see part of history. So.
Para naman kay Bruce Langlois ng Michigan, kahit hindi niya nasaksihan ng personal ang inaugurasyon, masaya na siyang makabilang sa mga nasa Washington para sa araw na ito.
It's really cool to be part of this. It's disappointing that it was inside, but you know, it's I think personally there's probably security reasons, you know, but he's got to be safe. You know, he's got a lot of work to do and we need him so badly. You know, that's fine that I didn't get to see it in person, but still to be here is good.
At ayon kay Christopher Hoynes ng Minnesota, pagbabago ang kinasasabikan niya dala ng bagong administrasyon.
Yeah, it's fun to have the change. He said a lot of really good stuff. We just listened to his inauguration address, and he said a lot of really obvious things that everybody wants, and you can tell by the vibe of the people, even the ones that did and didn't vote for him. I think everybody's trying to be optimistic at this point. And national security, I think, is number one message that they're saying, so everybody's really excited about that. I know I am.
May from Zaragoza para sa Mata ng Agila International. Trusted, connected, on point.
Kinumpirma po ni Samia Suluhu Hassan ang Pangulo ng Tanzania na may Marburg virus outbreak sa kanilang bansa. Sinabi ng World Health Organization o WHO na 8 katao na ang namatay dahil sa nasabing sakit at mataas nila ang risk na Marburg virus doon. Hindi naman kinumpirma ni President Hassan ang ulat ng WHO. Subalit, inamin ni President Hassan na nasa 26 na individual ang kanilang binabantayan at isang pasyente ang nagpositibo sa Marburg virus. Nanggaling po ang mga pasyente sa northwestern Cagayan region. At ayon sa datos ng WHO, nagkaroon ng Marburg virus outbreak noong taong 2023 sa Cagayan. Tumagal nila ito ng 2 buwan. Siyam ang naitalang positibo habang 6 naman ang namatay dahil sa nasabing sakit.
Iniulat ng Netflix ang kanilang record viewership number sa pagpasok ng taong 2025. Dala ito ng pagpasok ng kanilang hit show na Squid Game at ang pagdagdag ng live streaming ng sporting events. Ayon sa fourth quarter report ng streaming giant, ay nagkaroon sila ng karagdagang 19 million subscribers na nagbibigay ng total na bilang na 302 million viewers worldwide. Ang ni-live stream naman na laban ni former boxing champion Mike Tyson at YouTuber Jake Paul ay nakakuha ng 65 million streams. Nakakuha rin ng record viewership ang dalawang NFL games na inilabas ng Netflix noong December 25 ng nagdaang taon. Tinitignan din ng Netflix na makuha ang streaming rights ng FIFA Women's World Cup Soccer Finals sa 2027 at 2031. Inanunsyo ni US President Donald Trump na maglalaan ang Washington ng $500 billion para pondohan ang itatayong artificial intelligence o AI infrastructure sa Estados Unidos.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately.
Ayon kay Trump, kasamang tutulong sa proyekto ang mga kumpanyang OpenAI, SoftBank at Oracle sa isang joint venture na tinaguriang Stargate. Layo ng Stargate na mabawasan ang mga banta ng AI sa mga consumers, workers at sa pambansang seguridad. Hindi naman tinukoy na kung ang nasabing proyekto ay update o isang bagong venture. Noong March 2024 kasi, inihayag ng isang tech website na The Information na may inihandang proyekto ang OpenAI at Microsoft na isang data center project na Stargate din ang pangalan.
Nakaharap muli ang Google sa isa na namang lawsuit matapos ireklamo naman ngayon po ng Indonesia dahil sa umano'y unfair practices ng nasabing kumpanya. Pinagbumulta ng antitrust agency ng Jakarta ng 2.2 billion rupiah or that's $12.4 million dahil sa hindi patas na payment system services ng Google Play Store. Giit ng ahensya sa naging resulta ng kanilang investigasyon noong taong 2022. Inabuso umano ng Google ang posisyon nito dahil umano kailangan ng mga Indonesian app developers na gamitin ang Google Play billing sa mas mataas na rates kaysa sa ibang mga payment systems. Nalaman kasi ng antitrust agency ng Indonesia na nagpapataw pala ang Google ng hanggang 30% fee via Google Play billing. Kaya babala po ng ahensya sa Google, sundin nito ang hinihinging demand ng ahensya at kung hindi ay aalisin ang Google Play Store sa buong Indonesia.
Pasok na sa semifinals ng Australian Open si Serbian tennis star Novak Djokovic. Ito ay matapos ang makasaysayang panalo kay Carlos Alcaraz sa score na 4-6, 6-4, 6-3 at 6-4 sa laro na tumagal ng 3 oras at 37 minuto. Sinabi ng 10-time Australian Open champion ay tinuturing niyang makasaysaya ng laban. Danalo kung saan napilitang tumawag ang 37 anyos sa si Djokovic ng medical timeout dahil sa injury sa kanyang hita. Bumalik ito sa second set na nakatali na ng benda ang kanyang kaliwang hita. Nagkaroon ng matinding rally ang dalawa hanggang umabot sa ika-4 na set at tuluyan ang nakuha ni Djokovic ang kampyonato. Susunod na makaharap ni Djokovic sa semifinals si Alexander Zverev sa araw ng Biyernes. Sa ibang balita, muling ginawang maliwanag ang gabi ng mga tao sa Canary Wharf ng taunang Winter Lights event sa United Kingdom. Nagtipon-tipon kasi ang mga artists sa buong mundo para makiisa sa nasabing aktibidad. Ngayong 2025, may 4 na artworks ang nadagdag kung saan pinapakita nito ang transformative qualities of art and light.
I think it's always important to have a mix. So we love working with both local artists and international artists. So bringing kind of everyone together in this space. London is such a metropolitan, wonderful city, and I think Canary Wharf is representative of that. We have so much of that tied into the tapestry of who we are and the artworks that we've commissioned. So yeah, it's incredibly important to us, and that's all of our events almost are free and accessible. So it's great that both the communities can either be part of it with the artworks that are created, but also for the visitors, everyone to feel involved and part of Canary Wharf and part of the exhibitions.
Kahit malamig naman po ang klima, ay lakas loob na sumayaw si French ballerina Victoria Duberville sa bow ng isang barko sa Antarctica. Kilala po si Duberville sa kanyang career sa pagsayaw sa entablado at isa nga rito ang pagtanghal niya sa Bordeaux Opera at Royal Ballet of Flanders. Mayroon din itong higit sa 300,000 followers sa Instagram and TikTok, kung saan naman ang mga video posts niya ay umaani ng million views. Ayon sa lokal na ulat, layo ni Duberville na magkwento sa pamamagitan ng pagsayaw, kung kaya sa kanyang pagtatanghal sa Antarctica ay naging symbol of beauty ang backdrop na glaciers. Nilinaw rin ni Duberville na hindi basta-basta ang kanyang pagsayaw dahil hindi lang isang pagsubok ito, kundi isang paalala rin na ang sining ay maaaring malikha nasaan ka man.
At ang masasabi ko dyan ay oo, 100% agree ako. Diba?
Pero
no?
alam ko, ginawin tayong dalawa, no? So, siguro bundles of jackets ka kapag mag-paint ka sa Antarctica.
Tsaka isipin mo naman, yung ginawa niya na nakatutu, mahirap yun, ha? Kung ako yan, balot na balot ako. Pero paano ka naman makakasayaw kung ang dami-daming nakabalot sa...
Talagang dedication and commitment to her craft yan.
Bow tayo sa kanya.
Okay po yan. At tandaan po ha, narito kami ni Nina para maghatid ng balita sa anumang dako ng mundo. Muli, ako po si Ricky Matay.
Ako si Nina Richie Alago Flores. Ito ang Mata ng Agila International. Para po sa iba pang balitang nanggaling din sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, punta tayo kay Alma Angeles para sa Mata ng Agila World News. Take it away, Alma.
Thank you, Nina Enrique. Good evening, everyone. I'm Alma Angeles for NET25 World News. On tonight's headlines. A historic Arctic blast is gripping parts of 30 states stretching deep into the south, from Texas to Louisiana and even Florida. Unprecedented snow, ice, and blizzard warnings are creating chaos in areas unaccustomed to such severe winter weather. Attorneys general from 22 states are now suing to block President Trump's move to end birthright citizenship. And this controversial policy guarantees U.S. citizenship for children born on American soil, regardless of their parents' immigration status. And the news starts now. A historic Arctic blast is gripping parts of 30 states stretching deep into the south, from Texas to Louisiana and even Florida. Unprecedented snow, ice, and blizzard warnings are creating chaos in areas unaccustomed to such severe winter weather. In New Orleans, now humorously dubbed Snowla, the city is seeing its biggest snowfall ever recorded, with 9 inches and counting. To address the icy roads, 14 snowplows were brought in from Indiana. Louisiana issued its first ever blizzard warning as palm trees became blanketed in snow and icy streets caused accidents, including one SUV skidding into a curb near the Superdome, set to host the Super Bowl in less than 3 weeks. Meanwhile, in Florida, the rare snowfall turned beaches into snow fields. In Tallahassee, emergency crews are spreading sand on roads to combat ice buildup as 5 inches of snow set records in Pensacola. Local officials acknowledge their limited snow equipment but are working to keep roads passable. With snow and freezing rain still causing havoc, officials across the South urge residents to stay home and avoid travel until conditions improve. For now, it's a winter storm for the record books, and one the Deep South won't soon forget. And a rare winter storm is sweeping through Texas and the northern Gulf Coast, shutting down highways, grounding flights, and triggering the first blizzard warning for parts of southeast Texas. Take a look.
On Tuesday morning, millions of Texas residents woke up to a blanket of snow as Winter Storm Enzo impacted the coastlines of Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. Here in the Houston metro area, the National Weather Service reports snowfall totals of up to 4 inches in some neighborhoods. One of the most rare sightings was snow on the beach, captured by webcams from the city of Galveston, which reported 4 inches of snowfall.
So I went to college up north, and I was actually born in Buffalo, New York. That gets, feet and feet worth of snow, more than this. But it's actually really fun having it here because it's kind of a throwback to my childhood and college days.
I have not left the 610 loop for any degree of my life.
No, I just wanted to come out and walk. I'm actually working at the hospital covering the night. So we all have kind of day and night shift at the hospital right now because they don't want people driving in and out. So I just came here on a break to come and walk around the park.
The snow is beautiful. Look at this. It's so soft and it's thicker than I expected. So I think it's great.
In anticipation of the severe weather, Houston Mayor John Whitmire made a statement Monday regarding city preparations and admonishing residents to do their part.
We've been preparing since Thursday for the intense temperature, but now we've learned that there will be precipitation. We are prepared, but the reason I'm speaking to Houstonians this evening is we need your assistance. We need your help to let us help you. We need to limit our activity starting tomorrow evening.
This Arctic blast has brought the Gulf Coast to a standstill, causing public facilities at Port Houston and the airports at George Bush Intercontinental and Hobby to shut down until Wednesday, incurring widespread flight cancellations. Stay tuned for further updates. In Houston, Texas, I'm Mayfem Zaragoza, NET25 News.
Turkey has detained 9 people, including the owner of a hotel, after a deadly fire claimed 76 lives at a ski resort in western Turkey.
Değerli arkadaşlar, yüreğimiz yanıyor. Acımızı tarif etmek imkansız. Maalesef vefat eden canımız 76.
Now, he also reported that 45 bodies had been returned to families while DNA tests are underway for the remaining victims. The fire started in the Grand Kartal Hotel at the Kartalkaya Ski Resort in the Bolu Mountains around 3:30 a.m., consuming the 12-story hotel. The hotel has expressed deep sorrow and promised full cooperation with the investigation. With 238 registered guests, many survivors described panic and chaos as they fled smoke-filled corridors and jumped from windows. Witness Omer Sakrak recalled the horrifying scenes.
We got up at around 3:30 in the morning. We woke up to screaming. We woke up to shouting. When we went outside, we could only see smoke in the building at first. After the smoke, people's screams started to increase. Because we could not see the flames at that point, we tried to support them from here by saying, "Wait, calm down." Then when the flames appeared, people all of a sudden started to jump with panic. A friend jumped from the 11th floor. May God have mercy on him. They tried to climb down using bedsheets. The bedsheets ripped as one friend was trying to climb down, and he unfortunately fell on his head. One father was yelling about his 1-year-old child. "I will throw my child or he will burn."
Guests said no fire alarms sounded and they had to escape in the darkness. President Erdogan declared a national day of mourning after the tragedy which struck during peak winter tourism season. Attorneys general from 22 states are now suing to block President Trump's move to end birthright citizenship. And this controversial policy guarantees U.S. citizenship for children born on American soil, regardless of their parents' immigration status.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship.
President Donald Trump wasted no time signing executive orders related to his sweeping immigration crackdown after taking office. They include a broad ban on asylum and sending the U.S. military to the southern border, says Reuters correspondent Ted Hessen.
There was really a flurry of executive orders last night, and some of the things even we're still digesting. The refugee resettlement program, for instance, which brought in 100,000 people last year from other countries who are refugees abroad, was put on pause indefinitely, at a minimum 3 months, but potentially longer. He took steps to move military assets to the border and empowered the Secretary of Defense to send troops as needed, but also tasked the Pentagon with supplying resources for border wall, for detention space, and for other aspects of border security. That's just one element.
Trump signed an executive order restricting birthright citizenship.
Birthright. That's a big one.
Prompting several states and civil rights groups to file lawsuits, arguing it violated the U.S. Constitution, specifically a 14th Amendment clause stating anyone born in the U.S. is considered a citizen.
It's entirely possible that a month from now, this order will be put on hold or will still be debated legally, and it seems like the sort of issue that could potentially make its way to the Supreme Court, in which case that could mean months or years of legal wrangling before we have an answer as to whether this was lawful or not.
We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy.
I think the question will be, what are they able to do in Congress? Are they able to pass through restrictive immigration laws that will be more enduring, that will be more lasting? And even budget-wise, what will the budget be for the deportation initiative? I mean, that will be a major factor in how effective it is. And, you know, one figure that's been floated among Republicans is that they need $100 billion for enforcement. I mean, for some perspective, that's more than many government departments would have in their entire annual budget. Like the State Department was around $86 billion for a year. So I think whether they get that or not is a huge question.
Trump's critics and immigration advocates say the president's mass deportation plan could disrupt businesses, split families, and cost U.S. taxpayers billions of dollars.
In the hours after President Trump was sworn into office, he issued an onslaught of disastrous and damaging executive orders, including one that seeks to end birthright citizenship. Trump is following through on a campaign promise. Today, I'm also following through on a promise to take action if Trump violates the law and infringes on our rights, on your rights, as he did today with what is, frankly, an un-American executive order. I have one message for President Trump. I'll see you in court. We are filed. Our case is filed now as we speak, moments ago, in the District of Massachusetts in the First Circuit. This morning, as stated, the lawsuit challenging President Trump's unconstitutional executive order is on file. It has multiple grounds. It states that the executive order violates the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. It violates our U.S. Constitution. Birthright citizenship is foundational to our nation's history, to California's history, to our very...
Now, President Trump responded to Episcopal Bishop Marian Edgar Budd's plea during a prayer service on Wednesday, saying she owes an apology. The bishop had urged Trump to protect immigrants and respect gay rights, calling for mercy for those fearful of what his administration's policies might bring.
Mr. President, millions have put their trust in you. And as you told the nation yesterday, you have felt the providential hand I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. And the people who pick our crops.
President Trump on Wednesday said the so-called bishop of the Washington National Cathedral owed an apology after she urged him to protect immigrants. And a day after declaring in his inauguration speech that there were only 2 genders in America and signing executive orders to crack down on immigrants, the bishop from the pulpit said to show mercy on people who were scared of what is to come. Trump did not appear happy during the remarks of the prayer service and dismissed them when asked for a reaction later. In a late-night Truth Social post, Trump said Bud was nasty in tone and that she and her church owed the public an apology. He said the so-called bishop who spoke at the National Prayer Service on Tuesday morning was a radical left, hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal migrants that came into our country and killed people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions. It's a giant crime wave that is taking place in the USA. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a very boring and uninspiring one. She's not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. The United States, Australia, India, and Japan recommitted to working together today after the first meeting of the China-focused Quad grouping's top diplomats since President Donald Trump returned to the White House. In a joint statement after the talks in Washington, hosted by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on his first day in the job, the 4 nations said officials would meet regularly to prepare for an upcoming leaders' summit in India, expected this year. The 4 countries share concerns about China's growing power, and analysts said the meeting was designed to signal that countering Beijing is a top priority for Trump. The 4 nations restated their shared commitment to strengthening a free and open Indo-Pacific where the rule of law, democratic values, sovereignty, and territorial integrity are upheld and defended. That includes in the East China Sea, where Japan is locked in a territorial dispute with China, and in the contested South China Sea, Japan's government said in a later statement. Rubio also met separately with Wang and Jaishankar. A key aim for Australia was to secure assurances from Washington about the massive AUKUS defense pact, designed to allow Australia to acquire nuclear-powered attack submarines and other advanced weapons, such as hypersonic missiles, which Trump has not commented on publicly. Australia's Foreign Minister Wang told a news conference in Washington she had a very positive discussion with Rubio on AUKUS. China has denounced the Quad as a Cold War construct and says the AUKUS alliance would intensify a regional arms race. U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened new tariffs on Chinese goods, with plans to implement them on February 1st, potentially sparking a trade war with China. Speaking from the White House, Trump also took aim at the European Union, Canada, and Mexico, signaling further tariff action over trade imbalances.
U.S. President Donald Trump says his administration is discussing new tariffs on Chinese goods by February 1st, raising the specter of a retaliatory trade war with the second-largest economy in the world. Trump made that threat at the White House on Tuesday.
We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada.
In the same briefing, Trump singled out the European Union for troubling trade imbalances with the U.S. and also vowed to hit them with tariffs at some point.
The European Union is very, very bad to us. They treat us very, very badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our cars at all. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They're going to be in for tariffs. Mr. President. It's the only way you're going to get back. It's the only way you're going to get fairness. You can't get fairness unless you do that.
Trump says Canada and Mexico are also on the firing line for tariffs of 25% on February 1st.
We heard the president's comments yesterday and the directive he has issued to examine the trade relationship between Canada and the United States while exploring the possibility of tariffs. But we remain confident in the facts. Canadian energy powers American manufacturing, businesses, and homes. Of America's top 5 trading partners, Canada is the only one with whom the United States runs a trade surplus in manufacturing. And Canada buys more goods made by Americans than China, Japan, and Germany combined. On top of that, President Trump said that he wants to usher in a golden age for the United States. That will require more steel and aluminum, more critical minerals, more reliable and affordable energy, more of everything to run the U.S. economy full steam ahead. Canada has all those resources, and we stand at the ready to work with the United States to create a booming and secure North American economy. The alternative for them would be more resources from Russia, China, or Venezuela. Canada is a safe, secure, and reliable partner in an uncertain world.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum on Tuesday gave a measured response to Trump's tariff threats, saying she would respond to U.S. actions step by step. She added that the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement was not up for renegotiation until 2026.
Regarding the decrees, because it's important to refer to the decrees signed yesterday by President Donald Trump, I would like to mention the following. First, the people of Mexico can be sure that we will always defend our sovereignty and our independence. We are already in communication, whether today or tomorrow, to start bilateral talks, which are essential, especially with the arrival of President Trump, to establish all communication, respectful dialogue between our countries. That is why I say we must remain calm and have a cool head, acting step by step. So at this moment, what President Donald Trump signed is that the trade agreement continues, and they open consultations for the review that will be done in 2026. That's what it says. Regarding the Gulf of Mexico, beyond anything else, they establish it for their continental shelf. For us, it remains the Gulf of Mexico, and for the entire world, it remains the Gulf of Mexico.
The comment appears to be preempting suggestions that Trump will seek an early revamp of the pact, which underpins over $1.8 trillion in annual three-way trade. On Monday, Trump also directed federal agencies to complete a review of a range of trade issues by April 1st. That includes spotting persistent U.S. trade deficits, unfair trade practices, and currency manipulation among partner countries, including China. He also asked for recommendations on remedies, including a, quote, global supplemental tariff and changes to duty exemptions for low-cost shipments from China under $800, which are often blamed for imports of fentanyl precursor chemicals.
President Donald Trump's proposed tariff plans could lead to higher car prices for U.S. consumers and impact automakers around the world. And that's the warning coming from Germany's influential auto industry, which voiced concerns on January 21.
U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff plans would mean higher car prices for U.S. consumers and hit global automakers. A warning from Germany's powerful car industry on Tuesday. It came as auto stocks fell on the prospect of higher U.S. import duties. The president of Germany's VDA Auto Association told an annual press conference that Trump's threatened tariffs would drive up U.S. inflation. Trump did not immediately implement the wide range of tariffs he'd promised, but he indicated that tariffs of 25% on Canada and Mexico could be imposed as early as February. Global automakers make cars in Mexico for sale in the U.S., and the Central American country is an integral part of the supply chain. Russ Mould is investment director at AJ Bell.
If you look at a lot of the Mexican trade flow that there is, this is equipment or major bits of machinery that are shipped backwards and forwards across the border several times during assembly. So if that tariff applies every single time, then that's going to be a really expensive piece of kit by the time that we finish. So companies may well feel obliged to move more production to the United States, and that's actually what President Trump wants.
And the news continues here on NET25. We'll be right back.
Digital payments have revolutionized the way we transact. However, as technology advances, so do the threats posed by cyber criminals.
Kailangan pa rin talaga tayong mag-ingat, no? Maraming mga scammers na naghahanap pa rin ng pagkakataon para manloko.
Nagiging mas sophisticated na ngayon yung mga scammers natin. And dahil dyan, yung mga tinatawag nating rules of the game, kung paano ma-detect yung mga scams, nag-iiba din.
It's a partnership between the business and the consumers to really protect accounts and to protect their assets as well.
Online Business, an Open for Business with Cesar Vallejos. Sunday, 9 p.m.
Sa NET25.
And staying in Davos, global leaders are tackling some of the world's most pressing challenges, and financial inclusivity is high on the agenda. And the Philippines is leading the way, showcasing how fintech can bridge gaps and drive economic resilience.
Well, in the Philippine context, the collaboration between the public sector and the private sector, government and GCash in this instance, is very important. There are more wallets than bank accounts in the Philippines, in the formal sector. More Filipinos have access to savings, investment, credit with GCash, for example, in the Philippines, and with banks. More people have, like I said earlier, adopted to e-wallets than going to a formal bank.
GCash CEO Martha Sazon and Finance Secretary Recto are demonstrating how partnerships like these have changed lives. Sazon, meanwhile, emphasized how the pandemic accelerated the adoption of digital wallets, bridging the financial inclusivity gap in the country.
I think while COVID was the trigger for the significant growth and increase in penetration, the lesson here is that we were ready when the world closed down on us.
Today, with 90 million users and a valuation of $5 billion, GCash is the Philippines' largest unicorn, and the government is also expanding digital connectivity, aiming to connect all 7,000 islands and provide access to financial tools.
Infrastructure, digital connectivity is key.
Big news from Washington. President Donald Trump has announced a whopping $500 billion private sector investment to supercharge AI infrastructure across the U.S.
U.S. President Donald Trump has announced private sector investment of up to $500 billion to fund AI infrastructure. He spoke in Washington alongside the bosses of tech firms OpenAI, SoftBank and Oracle.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States, and very, very quickly, moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately.
This will be the most important project of this era, and as Masa said, for AGI to get built here, to create hundreds of thousands of jobs, to create a new industry centered here. As technology progresses, we will see diseases get cured at an unprecedented rate.
Stargate will be a Texas-based joint venture between the firms. $100 billion in funding is committed for now, with more expected to come over the next 4 years. Masayoshi Son, the chief executive of Japanese investment giant SoftBank, had already promised Trump billions in investment.
We are very, very excited to do this. And our partner is, of course, SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, and additionally investing partner with MGX. On top of that, we have the technology partner NVIDIA, and of course, Microsoft has been very, very supportive to SAM and continue to support all our success. This is not just for business. As Raleigh said, this will help people's life. This will help solving many, many issues, difficult things that otherwise we could not have solved with the power of AI.
And Oracle chief Larry Ellison said the new project was actually well advanced.
The data centers are actually under construction. The first of them are under construction in Texas. Each building's 500,000 square feet. There are 10 buildings currently being built, but that will expand to 20.
The announcement on Trump's second day in office follows the rolling back of former President Joe Biden's executive order on artificial intelligence. That had aimed to reduce the risks AI poses to consumers, workers, and national security. Now the Stargate venture comes as the new tech demands vast extra computing resources. That is pushing demand for specialized data centers that enable tech firms to link thousands of chips together in clusters. It wasn't immediately clear whether Stargate was a new venture or an update on one previously reported. Last March, tech website The Information said that OpenAI and Microsoft were working on a data center project with the same name.
And with that, we end tonight's broadcast. For everyone here on NET25, I'm Alma Angeles. Thanks for joining us. Good night.